Let's get to a former England defender now. Jamie Carragher is waiting to speak to us. Jamie, great to speak to you. I think, first of all, what's it like out where you are at the moment in terms of the atmosphere building up to this first England game compared to at other major tournaments that you've been to as either a player or a pundit?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different because we've gone straight from, domestic football straight into international football. We saw the first game yesterday, and it hasn't had that normal build-up or excitement, I feel, towards, a World Cup. Normally, we finish a season and we've got a 3-week build-up to the first game, and it just builds and builds and builds every day. Of course, there's been a build-up, but I just felt the fact that the tournament is now right in the centre of the season, it's lost a little bit of that sort of excitement going into the first game.
Jamie, how are the players going to be feeling at the moment? Still a few hours to go until such a big game for them. Some of them win their World Cup debuts as well.
I think excitement, really, that's what it should be. It's a dream to play in a World Cup for any player. A lot of them will be thinking about where they were as young kids and famous World Cup games that they've seen or England players in the past and thinking, can they, be that guy, if you like, and, score that fantastic goal or do something really famous that we remember World Cup moments for. But in the back of the mind will also be, they don't want to be a player who's remembered maybe for making a mistake, as has happened to certain players in the past as well, because that is the nature of the game and the stakes, and the whole world is watching right now. So it's vitally important that individual players, produce their best form. And as I said, they could be remembered for a long time in an England shirt.
Jamie, it's our understanding that Gareth Southgate is going to play a back four, so you can put it together as a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 if you like. But do you agree with the decision to do that, to go with a back four rather than a 3-5?
Yeah, I think so, because of the nature of the opposition. I think it'll be a game where England have a lot of possession, and it'll be, can England break Iran down? I expect them to do so, but I don't think it'll be a game where England win 3 or 4-0. I think it'll still be a tight game. It'll be made really difficult by Carlos Queiroz, who notoriously sets his teams up, as I said, hard to play against. So I'm pleased that Gareth's gone with the extra attacking player. And I think in the knockout rounds, if England get through, which I think they will, I think England will go back to a back three, considering the opposition they come up against. And I think that's a strength of England under Gareth Southgate, that they are flexible as a team. And I think it helps that when you go into big games, the opposition don't know exactly what you're going to do going into that game. And again, I think that helps us. And
if the likes of Bellingham and Saka are starting, what do you make of that? Good decisions for you?
Yeah, I'd have started both of those players. I think we had a chat with a few of the guys at Fulham. The last Premier League game we did on Sky, and we all said what our teams would be. And I felt that would have been around at 4-3-3, and I felt you had to go for Saka in that game because of the pace alongside Harry Kane, which he needs players who've got pace and making penetrating runs in behind him. And the fact that he's in such good form playing a team right now at Arsenal, top of the table. So I think it had to be Saka, and I think Bellingham's he's one of the first names on the team sheet, even though he isn't an England regular now. I think it'd be very difficult to pick an England team for anybody without putting him in the team.
Yeah, and it always appeared that Declan Rice was going to start, obviously, and I've got your article in front of me, actually, from the Telegraph, where it says Rice is a modern Keane, as in Roy Keane. He can be a £100 million player. What similarities do you see between the two?
Well, I think he has that drive from midfield. People will say, as is always questioned of Declan Rice, does he get enough goals? But I think when you look at players like Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira, midfield players of the past, great midfield players, I should say, they weren't always judged on the goals, and I think it's a little bit unfair on Declan Rice. He's an all-round midfield player. I think he could play, as a box-to-box role. He could play the sitting role, which I think he will do for England. I think his passing at times is very underrated. He's really good on the ball, but he has to show that in this tournament, because that is something that England are questioned about as they go later on to tournaments. Can they dictate the game? Can they control the game? And that always comes down to what you've got in midfield. And in Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham, I think we've got two outstanding talents, young talents as well, in that position of the pitch. But they've got to play almost beyond their years in terms of the experience that they have. And I think that'll be mainly down to Declan Rice. And when we're in times of trouble in this tournament, which we will do, I think it's up to Declan Rice to make sure he demands the ball, gets on the ball, gets really good body shapes when he's receiving the possession from the back four or the back three, and he gets England playing.
But before I ask you a question on Wales, just this issue with the armband going on, you'd never think that this would be an issue going into a major tournament, but Harry Kane saying that he will wear that One Love captain's armband going into this game, even though, and these are only rumours by the way, even if he was to end up getting a yellow card because of that. What do you make of this issue?
He has to wear it because, England have made a big noise about the fact that Harry Kane's going to wear this. This is the almost protest in some ways to the World Cup being in Qatar and the situation, human rights, everything that goes on at the country that people have criticised. This was England's way of showing that, they don't agree with everything that's going on with that in the country. And they can't pull out now. The fact that Harry Kane would get a yellow card, and I've seen some reports this morning that that would happen, I think it only strengthens the campaign, if you like. And I think for England to pull out of that and not do that now because of a yellow card to Harry Kane, I think would be weak. So I think it should make them more determined.
And final question on Wales. They start their campaign today, like England do, but they face USA in the same group of England as England, of course. What are Wales's expectations? Because in recent major tournaments, well, specifically European Championships, they've been more than robust. They've been very impressive.
They have been, and I think it will be tough to get out of the group. I really hope they do, because I think this might be the last time we see Gareth Bale in a Welsh shirt, and I'd really love him to go out with a bang in some ways. And I think for Wales to get through to the knockout stage would be a fantastic achievement. They've done brilliant over the last few years in terms of getting to tournaments. Bale and Ramsey as well have been fantastic in those tournaments as well. And I'd love to see them get through, but I think it'll be difficult. I really do. I think the USA will just make it. I just think they may have a little bit more energy within the team than maybe Wales do. But as I said, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, Jamie, great to speak to you this morning. Thanks for coming on, and we are looking forward to those England and Wales games today.
OK, thank you.